It's hard to beat the Wisconsin outdoors.
He's a busy boy, he was.
And for 23 years, it was nearly impossible to beat Sean Coffert to it.
With his hunting and fishing with his friends. And
the Sheboygan Falls native was a true outdoorsman.
Him and his hunting pictures with his friends.
A fact well documented by his aunt.
As long as I can remember, since he was a small boy, he's been out in the woods.
They know
him and his harvest,
what he loved.
Him and his fish, him and his coon dogs.
Yeah.
But they don't know.
It's, it's kind of frustrating because
exactly how.
Why he was walking home.
His life ended.
Don't know. Just that he was hit on the side of the road.
In the early morning hours of July 3rd, 2016, Sean Coffert was struck by a vehicle near Elkhart Lake, and the driver didn't stop.
A gentleman who was going fishing.
But a second driver did.
Pulling a boat. Ran him over a second time. And he is the one who stopped and reported it.
I believe his mother was called first, and then they called me. And then I had to go talk with them and everything, and it was not a good day.
Since, the investigation has gone cold, so the family is offering a $9,000 reward.
Get some information that would lead to a conviction.
And that's the buck that's sitting in the tree with him.
Morgan Glander knew her friend loved being outside.
He was a storyteller, so all of his pictures told his stories.
But didn't know this.
In 2012.
How well
hundreds
he captured it.
Of photos of all his hunting, his fishing.
Unbeknownst to the family, Sean Coffert had neatly filed away his adventures in half a dozen photo albums.
Now I got something to look at.
The pictures were discovered in a Plymouth storage locker in the days following his death.
Seriously, I thought he was nuts. I was like, who takes this many pictures? But that was him. Kept everything documented.
A life lived to the fullest.
We live every day through his pictures.
Out in the open air.
That helps a lot.
In Sheboygan County, Jonathon Gregg, Fox 6 News. Be careful.
The rocks are getting larger.
And watch your step.
As you get closer to the path.
If you're running or walking near Kenosha's lakefront.
These are the largest rocks I've ever seen thrown up.
Because ankle breakers are everywhere.
Just over the weekend it happened.
Rocks and slabs of concrete.
So I wanted to come and see what it was like down here.
Lifelong resident Donna Josephwick says weekend waves did the heavy lifting.
The power of it all.
A big enough deposit to reroute Marilee Lehman's morning.
Oh,
and those things
amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I'm down by the water. The camera is up on the bike trail, and the rocks were chucked farther than that.
Rocks are back from the shore, up over the embankment.
Parks Department has been clearing the mess ever since, brushing off the path as quickly as possible, using heavy machinery for the larger rocks.
Mother Nature can be a brutal force.
Yes, it can.
I've never seen it this bad.
However, as much force as the lake has, the Parks Department cleared the trails by Tuesday afternoon. Just don't go off-road.
Look at the size of them.
In Kenosha, Jonathon Gregg, Fox 6 News. On a busy stretch of Mitchell Street.
It's just a lot of trouble.
At the doorstep of a popular hangout.
Kids are going to come out here and they're going to repeat what they see on walls.
The wrong thing catches your eye.
I shouldn't do that.
Graffiti bookends
this library just got here.
This branch of the Milwaukee Public Library. Zarina Korleski,
kind of ridiculous, it's out here in the open in the middle of an intersection,
is not impressed.
It sucks a lot, I don't really like seeing stuff like this around town, it's getting really bad. You see it everywhere.
And the high school senior can't help but guess those responsible are making a bad name for her fellow young people.
Of course you can't stop anybody from doing it, but at least don't do it in areas where they're populated by young children, because then they're going to be influenced by what they see and think that that's cool and it's okay. It's not.
Milwaukee police count 3 male suspects tagging multiple buildings early Wednesday in the 900 block of West Mitchell.
Why would they tag a place where we really need, like a library?
Police figure each vandal is between 17 and 20 years old, which is old enough
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
to know how to count.
There's cameras everywhere.
At least 6, 7, or 8.
Not to mention who's always watching.
And it's across the street from a church, so.
In Milwaukee, Jonathon Gregg, Fox 6 News. New Year's resolutions can come and go, and in Peter Rettler's case, it really kept going.
To be honest with you, it doesn't surprise me. He's a classic Washington County guy.
A few years back, the once high school and college wrestler figured a resolution would help him and an old teammate lose weight.
We were like, God, we felt so much better when we were down to our wrestling weights, and we made a resolution that we were going to run every single day in 1994, and that's how it started.
And in 24 years, it hasn't stopped.
So it's been tricky at times.
Just ask his wife of 25.
Trying to get things in, like childbirth.
Or the occasional visit to the ER.
Kidney stones. I had 2 kidney stones. I asked the doctor, I said, can I go for a run? And the doctor said,
Rettler,
why would you want to go for a run today? And
couldn't be rattled. He set a minimum distance of 1.2 miles a day, and the run had to be outside.
None of my kids, it's interesting, none of the kids have known a day that I haven't went for a run because my oldest one, Jack, is 22 years old now.
Since year 20, Rettler has more reason to run.
Okay, once he started working on the scholarship, it really brought some people out of the woodwork.
They'll run on that side of the sidewalk.
Organizing this benefit.
We're supposed to be running.
Now it's $1,500. I'm hoping to raise this year for scholarships, and they go to a Washington County high school student that attends Moraine Park.
Which is why on New Year's Eve,
go.
The 53-year-old isn't braving the cold alone. Regarding his streak, Rettler says he isn't an Ironman and honestly doesn't love running.
I can tell you in 24 years, there's probably been only 2 or 3 times where I came back and said, oh my God, that felt great.
But he gets a kick out of what comes from it.
Next year for year 25, I want to do something really big.
In West Bend, Jonathon Gregg, Fox 6 News. There's not much left to say.
This is a very tight oval.
When the bikes do all the talking. Except when you should mention what others might not expect.
And a lot of racing, probably half the racing we do is charity racing.
And we'll get to the cause just as soon.
I'm more scared of people hitting you or taking somebody out.
As Joey Haupt makes it to the main event.
Everyone wants to get a closer look.
On Sunday,
bond with each other.
Wilson Park brought back a sporting event that was put on ice more than 30 years ago. Motorcycle ice racing.
This is great. Isn't this awesome? Look, this is my friend Mark.
Oh, hello.
He's awesome too.
Haupt remembers those days, but only started racing his 125 Yamaha a few years ago.
Yeah, I learned when I was 50. They've got 1,000 modified sheet metal screws in the rear tire, about 800 ice racing screws in the front tire.
He competes in the 40s plus class and battled his way to the finals.
I started from the second row and fought back. It was totally awesome. It was so fun.
A feeling only made possible by this man.
The whole idea was everybody to just come out, have some fun.
Ron
and
Bretka.
Enjoy the races.
Planning the event, as it turns out, happened from Bretka's hospital bed.
I'm a cancer survivor, so the High Voltage Show is presenting these ice races and is a fundraiser for cancer research.
Entry fees and donations will go toward pancreatic cancer research, and the attendance
Yes, go! Yeah, buddy! Woo!
was far better,
I would guess several thousand people, which is
than Bretka ever expected.
Really incredible turnout.
As far as the finals,
in racing it's called the main.
Number 50 Joey Haupt ran into some trouble on turn 3.
Joe followed his line right up the tree.
but says that matters much less when you think about what crossing the finish line really means.
Nobody got hurt.
For anyone fighting cancer.
We could do this every other week in Milwaukee. I wish we could. I wish we would.
At Wilson Park, Jonathon Gregg, Fox 6 News.